Hey everybody, welcome back to a North Texas Weather Center forecast, and today what we're looking at is the potential for some wintry precipitation across portions of Texas going into tomorrow. Now, this is not necessarily a huge impact to North Texas, but we could see some snow off to the northwest, closer to areas like Wichita Falls. We could see potentially an ice storm down closer to areas like Austin, Texas, as well as San Antonio. I'm going to break down everything that you need to know in this video in terms of who will see snow, rain, sleet, freezing rain, that sort of thing, and I kind of break down for you what you should expect in terms of accumulation. So let's just kind of get started. So this is this afternoon. I'll kind of show you through the future radar. There might be a few showers or maybe even a few thunderstorms across eastern and southeastern Texas today. There's actually a slight risk of severe weather across areas down here closer to areas like Houston, Lake Charles. Those areas are included in a slight risk of severe weather, definitely for the chance for damaging winds and maybe some large hail as well. That's right now what we're expecting for today. We will start to see this cold front come through. It already probably has come through by the time you're watching this video in DFW, and this will drop temperatures pretty rapidly. Obviously, we're going from like the 70s, what we saw yesterday, and tomorrow it'll not even feel any warmer than 30 degrees tomorrow, so just keep that in mind. You'll need a winter jacket tomorrow without a doubt. Let's kind of bring you through though the future radar in terms of what to expect. So this is through the next several hours, 4, 5, 6, 7, eventually by 7 o'clock, we'll all be dry here in DFW tonight. No rain's expected. Can't rule out an isolated shower during the afternoon, but after that, we should stay dry here in North Texas. Going into the overnight hours, closer to 10, 11, 12. Not a whole lot on the radar at this point. 1, 2, 3, eventually by about 6 in the morning. It's still not a whole lot on the radar. For obviously anywhere in North Texas should stay dry. But off to the northwest, closer to areas like Wichita Falls, there could be an isolated area of some light snow or some flurries. This will eventually reach as far east as Wichita Falls. This could bring potentially up to a coating of snow to some areas. This is expected to die down as it moves off to the east, so you can see it starts to kind of fizzle out as it reaches Wichita Falls. Lubbock could also see some. I can't rule out Amarillo will probably see a little bit of snow as well. So areas off in the panhandle of Texas, all the way as far east as Wichita Falls, could see some snow. Nothing significant by any means, but definitely a chance for that. Now going back down to the south, another event will be ongoing while the flurries and light snow happens in the panhandle. We could see an ice storm go down here in portions of southern Texas and even central Texas, which is obviously not very usual, but it might happen. It's pretty much forecasted. There's a winter storm watch in effect for several areas. It does include Austin, San Antonio, Victoria, Corpus Christi is also included in this. This almost goes as far south as areas like Mission, Texas, which is very far south. And there's actually a small freeze watch as well issued down here, nearly at the border of Mexico and Texas. So it's very far down south, without a doubt, with this winter storm watch. Now, this will, and basically what the chance of what's going to happen is we'll likely see at first some sort of ice event up here at first. Probably some sort of freezing rain or sleet that could accumulate into some ice. It looks like it's going to be a bit more of an isolated risk of seeing ice, but that's going to be a possibility. We could see some ice accumulation, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch in some areas, especially in this watched area. So just keep that in mind. That could be a chance. But primarily up to the north, it should be mainly snow, meaning probably around 1/2 inch to an inch of snow will be the most that you see. However, I can't rule out maybe up to a couple of inches, depending on where you are. Further west you are, the better chance you have of getting more measurable snowfall. This is about 6 in the morning. You can see those pink and red colors there. Those are going to represent your freezing rain. Eventually, about 8, 9 o'clock, you can see more precipitation starts to basically pop up. Now, the pink color will represent the mix of some sleet, snow, and rain, and then the white, obviously, meaning snow. So you can see more of a snow sort of precipitation falling across the hill country of Texas, going closer to Brady and Junction. Those areas probably going to get some snowflakes closer to about lunchtime. You can see primarily freezing rain and a mix of rain, sleet, and snow closer to areas like Austin right around noontime. San Antonio, still primarily rain around lunchtime, likely going to start transitioning over to a mix just after lunchtime. So you can see this about 12, 1 o'clock starts to transition more into a mix of rain, snow, and sleet there in San Antonio. Austin, primarily still rain, but maybe a mix of some freezing rain as well. Maybe even a little bit of snow falling with that as well. And then a little bit more of snow off to the northwest, again, closer to Junction. Those areas could have the best chance of accumulation. And then back over closer to Houston, those areas likely not going to see freezing rain. However, you will definitely see some beneficial rainfall there. Going 2, 3 o'clock, we'll still see some snow falling, mainly a mix across San Antonio and Austin around 3 o'clock. Most of this starts to shift out to the east by about 4 to 5 o'clock. So this should start to move away from the area then. I do recommend not traveling tomorrow if you're in that winter storm watch area. Just follow your local news. They'll kind of give you a guidance on that. 5, 6 o'clock, this starts to move off to the east. And you can see eventually, going down to the south, as I said before, this winter storm watch extends all the way down as far south as Corpus Christi. So, there's a chance that we even see a mix of some, rain, sleet, and snow as far south as is Corpus Christi, and maybe even some freezing rain. So just keep that in mind near Beeville as well. That looks like some freezing rain there about 7 o'clock. Going back off to the northeast, closer to Houston, you could even see a little bit of a mix as far east as maybe basically on Interstate 10 here, maybe as far east as Katy. I don't think this is going to get to Houston. I think it'll be primarily rain in Houston. I can't rule out maybe a snowflake or two, sleet pillar or two, but it shouldn't accumulate to any means, so don't be concerned about that. Back closer to the south, still freezing rain potentially, and maybe even a mix of rain, sleet, and snow still ongoing across areas of near Corpus Christi, just to the west. Eventually going after 12 o'clock, you can see this by 6 in the morning the following day. Maybe snow still as far south as, I mean, this is going into Mexico. It's pretty crazy how big this event is going to be, but a very strong Arctic blast is to blame for this. Luckily, it looks like North Texas will stay dry. I know some people are upset about that, but North Texas should stay dry, preventing us from seeing any sort of ice or anything like that. But we could see a snowflake or two. I can't rule out maybe an isolated flurry in this portion of North Texas going into the morning hours of Thursday, but other than that, we will stay dry. Nothing to be concerned about by any means. Even if you see a snowflake, don't be concerned. It's just a snowflake. It's not going to do anything bad. We will not see any ice, nothing like that. No ice storm, but it'll definitely be cold. Wind chills will be well into the teens and 20s for the morning, and some areas will even be in the single digits. Let's go and take a look at the my overall forecast in terms of what to expect. So as I said before, flurries and some light snow, maybe a coating possible closer to areas like Wichita Falls and off to the north and west. Panhandle of Texas has that best chance of seeing that. Rain, sleet, and snow mix possible from Waco and Brownwood and southwards. I actually had this area slightly further north previously. Forecast has changed. It looks like it'll stay south, so we will not have to be concerned about this anywhere close to DFW. But if you know anybody near Waco, just keep that in mind. You might need to be careful out there in the morning if you have any travel plans. I think Waco will not see any ice or anything like that, but you might see maybe an isolated flurry or an isolated sleet shower, something like that. But it should stay very minimal, so I don't anticipate any ice there. Most of that activity should stay to the south of there, though, and then primarily rain to the south of Palestine. So keep that in mind. Make sure to stay up there with North Texas Weather Center for the latest. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, All Dents Repair, and THD Vehicle Doorstep. Buy one in the description below.